Hi, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Travis and John Show.
It's not a normal Friday show.
Yeah, right.
Had to move things around a little bit this week.
Some schedule conflictions, but we're all, we're humans just as well as you guys are. Sometimes we got a little more important things to take care of. So here we are on a Saturday, live, ready to put on a great show for you guys.
Absolutely, as always.
Nothing changing, just a different day. Same old Travis and John Show, though. And, of course, we have a great slate planned for you guys tonight. A lot of things going on this weekend. March Madness season is finally upon us.
Hope you got your brackets in.
Absolutely.
But unless you're that one lucky human being right now, it's busted.
Yeah, for sure.
What a year already.
Yeah. The Kentucky upset killed a lot of people's brackets, obviously. But back-to-back years, UK has been bounced in the first round of the March Madness tournament. Unfortunately for them boys.
Painful as a UK fan, but thankfully I'm more into the major sports.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they got deep into my at least Elite Eight or Final Four almost, I think. So yeah, unfortunately busted mine right off rip, but I still think I'm sitting at like 90%, 89.3 or something like that.
Doing really good.
Yeah, so we got a decent little bracket build. But we will get more into some March Madness talk because we actually, part of our live parlay build tonight, will have a decent 3-leg little thing you can do on FanDuel for March Madness with a little boost.
Absolutely. You got to throw a little something in this weekend with all the games going on.
Absolutely.
March Madness itself
is always known for its upsets. So a lot of money to be made if you can make the correct picks. Still a lot of basketball left to be played. But along with March Madness, obviously we still have our normal NBA, and we have another UFC event this weekend. I think we still got another 3 or 4 weeks with UFC events straight, so one of those every week on the Travis
and John. Hope you've been tuned into Travis's previous UFC picks.
Yeah, every single one I'm always misses by one leg. Unfortunate. Old Gilbert Burns ruined us last week at $2.99.
Man, that was painful to watch.
A perfect
win in every round.
Yeah, was up 20-18 on the scorecards, and unfortunately got KO'd. But it happens. So we're going to try to bounce back this weekend with another fight night and see if we can get out of these 4 for 5s on the main cards.
Yeah.
And finally
hit to see the next morning when you open up FanDuel.
Yeah, well, painful to see that night. I'd be tuned in to my UFC ones. I love watching it.
Sometimes I try to get some sleep for the main event so my heart don't break. But
I'd be tuned in every second of every fight. Ready to hedge if I need to hedge. Ready to do whatever I got to do. But, so we will be giving out technically 3 or 4 picks tonight for you guys, parlay builds for a couple different sports and things going on this weekend. So if you are one of our betting fans and want to see our picks, stay tuned for those. We're about to start with those here in a few minutes. Now, do we want to kick off first with some NBA? We want to throw about the March Madness one real quick. How we want to lay these out for them.
I think we start out March Madness. Start out with the hot topic of the season.
Okay. I can do that. So for March Madness, for the games tonight, and then obviously none of the games already being played, but we have a decent little 3-leg. One game coming up here soon, probably the biggest game of the day, Kansas and Gonzaga. So 3-leg comes out to plus 740. We have the Kansas upset over Gonzaga at plus 140. Higher seed, obviously. But obviously doesn't mean anything in March Madness. But it's going to be a great game. 2 very well-matched teams. But I see the upset coming in this one for Kansas.
Absolutely. I had Kansas winning in my bracket pick, so I could use that one.
Yes, and then we have a team that we both picked in the first round. Sorry, excuse me.
Oh, Duquesne.
Yeah, old Duquesne.
And their Illinois matchup.
Yes. So, Illinois, obviously, the favorite in this one over Duquesne, obviously was the underdog in the first round, too, but came out on top. But as much as I love Duquesne, I think the run ends here for him. Early little upset, or not upset, but an early little finish to a Cinderella story, per se. I got Illinois covering the spread at minus 9.5. I think they could even win by more than that, if we're being honest. But we know March Madness scores can get a little out of hand. So we'll take them to cover the basic spread. And then last game, another game later tonight. Not the highest of favorite team or big teams, I guess, per se. But NC State versus Oakland. And NC State the favorite in this one, but I'm going to take them to cover the spread as well at -6.5. Like I said, March Madness scores can just get out of hand sometimes. Yeah. With those three picks, with the 50% profit boost on FanDuel, brings you out to plus 1,110 for a nice little three-leg for tonight to watch some college ball. Throw what you want on that. Obviously, we always promote responsible betting.
Absolutely. Don't bet what you can't afford.
Absolutely. All right. With March Madness out, that brings us to the NBA side of things. Now,
which can always be exciting.
Yeah. Now, something me and John talked about a little bit earlier. I guess I haven't been paying much attention as I thought I was. The NBA season's coming to an end very soon.
Very quickly approaching already the end of the regular season here.
Yeah, between 10 to 15 games left for these teams. Not a lot of basketball left to be played. And so this could be one of the last regular season parlay builds we give out for
one of the
weekend build.
Last NBA picks.
Yeah. But we had one early game today between the Nets and Knicks, which is currently still going at halftime. Nets up 57-56, so we'll be staying away from that game. But we have 7 other games to bet on that start at 7 o'clock tonight. A couple good matchups, some big names playing tonight.
I'd like to see my Pacers playing it again, but they're normally not the best on back-to-backs, so I'll take what I can get.
Yeah, we'll see what we can find. First game of the night is Kings and Magic. Kick off the slate tonight.
They always try low ball on Sabonis' odds. Look, even 15 points minus 270.
Wow, I like that a lot. 2 points. Jalen Suggs, 2+ assists, has hit in over 10 of the 10 straight games. Is currently at minus 330.
I love that too.
So not terrible. And then Paolo Banchero, 1+3, is hitting over 10 straight games, is at minus 470. So a little worse odds there, but some decent parlay builders.
So I like the 2 assists so far.
You like that one the most? Now we don't have to take just one. We could take your Sabonis pick as well if you like that.
We can always come back to that. I like the odds on it. So let's say right now we have the 2 assists.
All right.
See what we can snag from the Hornets and Hawks, because not the most exciting matchup on the slate.
Yeah. Okay. Right off rip, a guy who actually has taken off a lot lately for the Hornets, especially with their very slim rotation, Vasilije Micic, who for 10+ points is hitting over 10 straight games, is currently at minus 420. So not terrible for a game of this caliber. You never know what could happen. Brandon Miller, 2+3s, minus 370. Always a good pick.
Yeah, not terrible.
DeJounte Murray, 8+ assists, minus 300. 20+ points for Murray is minus 450. What are you saying that you like? Clint Capella, 10+ boards, minus 310.
That's always a good one.
Yeah.
He snags them things.
Yeah, especially with, Nick Richards down low?
Yeah.
For the Hornets. What do you like? What are you thinking? Need some input here, brother.
I don't hate 2 threes from Brandon Miller, or maybe the 10 rebounds from Capella.
Okay. Which one you like more?
My safest feeling is probably Capella.
All right, 10+ boards for Capella. Slam that on there. Raptors Wizards.
Yeah, not the hottest of matchups.
Yeah, at all. The Raptors just, I don't know, man. I do want to mention, I'm going to go check some old stats on him because I haven't looked at his games recently. But right off rip, I noticed Grady Dick for 10+ points was minus 370. And he's been a big part of the rotation since the trade deadline.
Absolutely. Denny Abdija is minus 210 for 15 as well.
It's not bad at all. So Grady Dick's kind of been all over the place. He had 21, and then he had 5, 10, 8, 9, 17, 8, 12, 2, 11, 12. He bounces around. He floats around that 10 mark.
Absolutely.
Then you have Dija.
Denny Avdija.
Dija. For how much did you say? 15 plus? He's had 17, 24, 16, 16, 18, 14, 16, 14, 15, 5, 43, 25, 21, 24. Oh my lord.
See? And just for 15 is minus 210.
I like it. Let's rock out.
Boston and the Bulls.
Alright, let's see here. Wow.
The Celtics have been hot this season.
Yeah.
Talked about that earlier.
Tatum scares me, man. Even for 25 plus, he's minus 700. There's just no value there.
Yeah, they know.
DeMar for 20 doesn't look terrible for the Bulls.
What's Vucevic been doing? Good
old DeMar's had a couple big games.
Big Vooch.
He's had 16, 28, 13, 21, 46, 13, 24, 33, 29, 33. Not terrible. Few games he hasn't hit. Kobe White for 15 plus is, what did I say? Minus 260. What's old Kobe been up to?
Vucevic, did you look at him for 15 points? He's had 16, 22, 29, 19, 12, 13, 22, 33, 23, 10, 17. He's averaging 20 points.
My lord. I don't hate that. 10 plus rebounds for him is minus 190. He teeters around that.
14, 9, 13, 6, 12, 6, yeah. 11, 11, 12, 13, 9.
Yeah.
Averaging 10 and a half.
Yeah. What do you like more, 15 or?
I like his 15. Let me check Kobe White real fast.
Kobe White's been okay. He's teetered around that 15 mark. He had a streak where he had it for a while.
Yeah.
Not a while, like 5, 6 games in a row. He plays with it. Averaging 19. Desumu's been balling lately. What's his like?
His 10 isn't the worst if we had 2 picks.
Well, because I was looking at his 1+3 too, and that's hitting 10 straight games. So that's also minus 700. So what if you paired like his 10 points and 1-3? What does that do? Does that make it decent odds? Minus 403 together. It's not horrendous. Do you like the Vucevic more though?
I kind of like the Vooch pick.
We can rock the Vooch pick.
I like the Suma.
His 1+3 is amazing, but being minus 700 by itself is wild. So we can rock Vooch. Desuma's been on a hot streak though. He's had 35, 23, and 34.
Yeah, I just looked at that.
Yeah.
I've been hooping.
Yeah, he has.
Suns Spurs.
Did you take Vooch?
Yes.
Which one?
The 15 points.
Okay. Vucevic. All right. Suns Spurs. Okay. There's going to be a few things that I'm going to like here. Wemby for 8 plus boards, minus 600, hitting 10 of 10 straight games. Let's see. Bradley Beal 1+3, minus 550, is hitting 10 plus straight games. And Bradley Beal 4 assists, minus 600, is hitting 10 plus straight games.
Yeah, Wemby's 10 rebounds at minus 210. Crazy.
Yeah, his 8 plus is hit, and like I said, a lot of straight games.
I like Wemby's 8 plus boards.
Do you like his 10 plus better? Better odds. He's only missed it, and he's only missed 10 once in the last 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13 straight games.
We can go ahead and do 10. I don't think Nurkic and KD should necessarily be the biggest competition for him.
I like 10 for Wemby.
Jazz and Rockets.
2 games left for this one. Let's see here. Once again, this team is. I know Jalen Green's been hooping, especially since the St. Coon injury.
Yeah, devastating.
Yeah, unfortunately. Keontae George, 15 plus. He's minus 380. It's not bad. Loves it. I love me some Keontae George.
Oh, we know.
Hey, he's a dog, bro. He's only missed 15 plus in one of his last 10 games that he's actually played. Because that 0-point game he only played 6 minutes.
Yeah, 2 plus 3s for Keontae at minus 330.
His threes are been iffy. He's had 1-0, 2, 1-1. He had 5-5-0. Well, that was the game he played 6 minutes. 2-4-1-2-9. A little iffy. I like his 15 points, a little safer than 2 plus 3s.
What's his assist been looking like?
5-2, 8-2, 5-6-6, 1-4, 9.
4 plus is minus 360.
He's missed that, twice in his last 10?
I don't hate the 15 points, though.
15?
Like it could be safer than passing the ball around.
Yeah. Do you want to run that?
I like it.
All right.
I think tonight's going to be the night he has 35 assists.
Yeah, watch. That's how it always goes. All right, Nuggets, Blazers. Sheesh. Do they even have anything on here?
No, they don't.
Yeah, they don't even have player props on here yet, considering it is only 2 o'clock. This is an early show edition.
Yeah, they got a money line, spread, and the total.
Minus 950.
Yeah.
Do we think the Nuggets cover minus 13?
That's a big number.
It's the Blazers.
Blazers are bad.
The reigning champions.
A big number.
They are the reigning champs, all I'm saying. I don't know about you. You want to leave it off then?
But I'm feeling 22.
Okay.
Well,
we're not Swifties over here.
So we go Jokic first basket?
Hey, low-key. Be a wild way to finish this. Plus 340. Everything hits but the first basket.
Wouldn't that be a story to tell?
Yeah. First half winner. Nuggets are minus 420.
Hear me out.
To be winning at halftime.
Will it be overtime? No, it's not even an option. Yes, it's plus 2,000. Hear me out.
OT. That'd be a wild guess. Total points, odd or even. It's a coin flip. It's low-key our best shot.
Best coin flip we may have.
Yeah. Do we just leave it?
Largest comeback. Nuggets to trail by 10 plus points and win the game plus 500.
They're not going to trail by 10. If we're going to do anything, we'd have to take a first half winner or something. Or we just leave it and let them pick their poison later when the props come open.
We can just leave it. I like the steady, even number parlay sitting at right now.
All right. 6-legger plus 500 even. Kind of a banger.
Exactly.
You want to let them know what we picked?
To start off, we got Jalen Suggs, 2 plus assists in the Kings Magic game. Capella, 10 plus rebounds in the Hornets Hawks game. Deja,
15 plus points. Raptors Wiz.
I just wanted to get it out. I had to say that name.
Nikola Vucevic, 15 plus. And the Bulls Celtics.
Old Victor Wembanyama for 10 plus rebounds in the Suns Spurs game.
Keontae George, 15 plus points in the Jazz Rockets game for a 6-leg plus 500 even parlay for you guys for 5 of the 6 of the 7 games left.
That math sounds a little better.
Yeah, definitely feels a little better. All right, and then we have, to finish off, I can give my main card pick for the UFC Fight Night tonight, since it's actually already Saturday and not
exactly
Friday.
A Friday night show.
Yeah.
Now we're doing the UFC show, technically.
I'm gonna give my picks for the main card, and I'm gonna give you. I'm only gonna give you the one parlay, and I'm gonna give you a few of the sleepers that I like on the prelims. But I'm not gonna parlay them in one or on lot. If you guys can do with those picks as you please. But the main card, it's a 6 fight card. Main card tonight, and it's main evented by Rose Namajunas and Amanda Rebos, which is gonna be a really good fight. I'm hyped for. I love watching me some Thug Bros. But first fight of the night is Fernando Padilla versus Luis Pajulo. I'm gonna take Fernando, the money line favorite in this one. We're gonna get through these a little quicker because I feel like we took a little while with the other ones. Uh, this one kind of a coin flip. On some betting platforms, Youssef is the favorite, and Billy comes in at like a Brown plus 500 or plus 100. But on FanDuel, it's like a coin flip. But I'm gonna stick with Youssef Zalal on this one. Billy Quarantillo is a guy that's been around for a little while. He's beat some of the up and comers, but Youssef's he's not really a young guy. He's kind of been there for a little while. I think he wins this one. Cameron Samon and Peyton Talbot. I'm going to take Samon in this one. The first underdog of the night.
Yeah.
I also, in the next one, AJ Dobson and Edmund Shabazin. I also like AJ Dobson in this one. I even think AJ Dobson could win this one on points, if we're being honest. I think this fight could definitely go the distance. But I'm just going to take Dobson's money line to be safe. Next up, we have Carl Williams and Justin Tafa. I'm also going to go with another underdog here, and I'm taking Justin Tafa, man. He's just a heavy hitter. I know Carl Williams is a big guy, but these Tafa brothers, dude, when they hit you, you feel it. And if he can sneak one on this Carl guy, bro, I think he can put him down.
We shall see tonight.
I would almost even take Tafa by KO if we're being real, but we're just going to stick with the money line. And then main event of the night, Thug Rose and Rebos. I can't bet against my girl, bro. I'm going Thug Rose all day. This is going to be a close fight. It'll probably more than likely go at least 2.5, 3, maybe even 4 rounds. It could be a 5 rounder, but I think if it does get finished, it'll be in the later rounds. I think it'll be a real fight, man. They're both dogs. So that'll be my 6th pick for tonight's main card at plus 6,476. And we're going to rock with that. A few guys that I like on the. Oh, where my UFC go? A few guys I like on the prelims. Just real quick, if you guys want to do anything with these guys, first fight of the night, Mick Parkin and Muhammad Usman. Muhammad Usman has a little bit of hype behind him being Kamaru's brother, and seeing what his brother done in the UFC.
Yeah.
And I think Muhammad Usman can finish this one. To be real, he's a guy I like as an underdog tonight on there. There's still some good value in Andre Lima and Igor Da Silva. I like Lima in that one. I think he should be a little higher of the favorite over Silva. So at minus 164, I think as a favorite, he has good value. And then 3 guys that I really like. These are kind of more like not really my preference picks, but these are guys that I've watched. These 3 guys came from The Ultimate Fighter, and I watch these guys' journeys. I watch that show all the time. I love all these guys. They all come in as underdogs tonight. I'm going Cody Gibson first over Miles Johns. Cody Gibson is an animal, bro. He was in the Ultimate Fighter most recent season championship against Brad Katona, and almost went the distance, or I think did go the distance with Katona. And Katona's a monster, man. I like Cody in his first fight back from the Ultimate Fighter. Julian Erosa over Ricardo Ramos, another guy that I liked a lot on the Ultimate Fighter. Just a mean kid, bro. Small, strong, mighty. He's in your face all the time. And I think he might be able to overpower Ramos tonight. And then also, dude, the last fight of the prelims before the main card, Kurt Hollabaugh and Trey Ogden, bro. Kurt Hollabaugh put on the fight of the season in the Ultimate Fighter. Just an absolute slugger, dude. And he's mean. And he's like a country boy. He hits hard, bro. I'm going Kurt Hollabaugh over Trey Ogden as well. So a couple underdog picks I like there on the prelims. Do with those as you please. And then I gave you guys the main card, 6 fight picks. So have fun with UFC tonight. A lot of value in it. Love my fight nights because most of the time the underdogs are always more so my guys. So those are my 6 picks for the UFC main card. And that'll almost round out our live parlay builds for you guys tonight. But gave you guys a few different options. Definitely some money makers in there.
Absolutely.
Bet responsibly. Bet what you can afford. Don't ever overdo yourself. It's definitely
Don't
can
put
be
the
an
house
addiction.
key down.
Yeah.
Even when some things seem like locks, they're not.
Yeah, we know how sports betting is.
Speaking of locks, I think we have a lock to talk about in our next segment.
I think absolutely. This is something I'm super excited for. We took a lot of time, a lot of in-depth research for this. Took most of our day today so far before the show, and a little reason why we were a little later.
Yeah.
It's mock draft 2.0 time, baby. It's the off season. We're through free agency, most of it anyway. Still some few names on the board that could sign places. Most recently, we've seen L'Jarius Sneed get traded to the Titans. Happened just yesterday, I believe, last night.
Yes.
So a big move for the Chiefs, giving up their top corner. Still got old McDuffie though, who's a monster, young guy, all pro. But Titans load up on the defensive side, really getting their CB1 for the future. After he becomes the highest paid cornerback in NFL history.
Yeah, well deserved.
Yeah,
shouldn't be many names that necessarily change our draft outlook.
right. But we do have some things set in stone. We mentioned last week Justin Fields to Pittsburgh, dude.
Yeah.
So the Bears are in need of a quarterback. It's mock draft 2.0 time. The Bears are on the clock with the number 1 pick and have almost made it known that it is not available. They will be selecting with that pick, taking their QB of the future.
As they now have no QB on roster besides
Tyson
Bagel.
Old undrafted guy last year who actually was decent.
Old pack of bagels.
Yeah.
They couldn't win you a game.
So, like I said, we did all this off camera. We have our mock drafts ready, so it'll be a little quicker. We won't have to take as long with our picks this time around. We'll be able to just kind of explain why.
Absolutely.
And we're pretty excited to give this out to you guys. So, mock draft 2.0, baby. Let's kick it off by Travis and John Show. Number 1 pick, the Bears are on the clock. Like we just mentioned, we all know who it's going to be, man. It's that man out of USC, Caleb Williams.
Yeah. I mean, there's other names in the draft, obviously, but when it comes to number 1, there's one that's been locked in since the season was halfway over with.
Yeah.
I mean, it was up for a coin flip for a minute there of who was taking Caleb Williams, but now with Justin Fields off roster, it's essentially a lock.
Yeah.
It's now just how quickly do they get their pick submitted.
Yeah, and I know a few people have said this. I've seen many takes on this. This might be the best position a rookie QB1 has ever walked into. He is set up for complete success in Chicago with weapons around him at every single position. A good defense, just getting better by the day. Re-sign their top corner. But he's got an offense. He's walking into an offense with Keenan Allen, DJ Moore, DeAndre Swift, Cole Kmet, Roshan Johnson, Khalil Herbert.
After they handled Justin Fields, I wouldn't trust any part of Chicago's staff.
But this is the best team that they've ever had, or not ever had, but had in a long time, especially on the offensive side of the ball.
I mean, they never even gave Justin Fields this type of roster.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, though. Caleb Williams is going to be blessed walking into a situation already set up for him like this. So, yeah, Bears at 1. Caleb Williams, man.
Absolutely.
Commanders on the clock at 2.
Washington also needs a quarterback as Sam Howell's out of town.
Yeah.
Seattle.
Best QB on roster, I don't even know anymore, really. I think they went out and signed Marcus Mariota, maybe. I think he's a backup. Brissett's on New England now.
Yeah.
But
that's what we were talking about.
Yeah. I think it might be Mariota. But either way, they're drafting a QB.
They're at 2.
Yeah. You want to fill them in who we got here?
It's that LSU boy.
Mr. Heisman Trophy winner.
Jaden Daniels.
Yeah.
We talked about the possible Drake May pick, obviously, at 2.
Right.
But if you've been tuned in, there's a little Jaden Daniels Commanders talk here recently, obviously.
Yeah.
And, I mean, when you look at Sam Howell, he led the season in passing yards for most of the season, but didn't turn that into anything. They had their pocket passing quarterback. They saw that it didn't pan out as well as they planned, so go and get the athletic, mobile quarterback and work things out in your offense how you see fit.
Yeah. I feel like Drake May is kind of a Sam Howell lookalike in a couple different ways. Probably more upside for Drake May, obviously, but like he said, they tested that last year. It's time to go get quarterbacks are becoming more common nowadays. These guys that can move around and get out of the pocket, make things happen with more than just their throwing arm. So, Commanders at 2, taking Mr. Heisman, Jaden Daniels, to be the future quarterback of that offense under Dan Quinn. Brings us to the Patriots at 3, who are also new head coach this offseason, moving on from Bill Belichick. It's a new era in New England, man. Gerard Mayo takes over, young, hungry head coach, former Patriot linebacker, and moved on from Mac Jones this offseason, trading him to the Jaguars. So they are in desperate quarterback need as well, outside of just Jacoby Brissett. And we have the Patriots sticking and picking here and taking Mr. Drake May out of UNC.
Absolutely. If he falls to 3, you can't let him fall any further.
Yeah.
I mean, the hype and arm strength has been proven is undoubtable. So, I mean, you can't let him fall any further. Patriots need a quarterback. This could be something they move out of, obviously, get more picks, try to fill in the depth. But, I mean, we talked this out. You can't stick with Jacoby Brissett for a season and just hope for the best.
Right.
So, take the best quarterback on the board. Don't hope and pray for any better. And see how Drake May pans out in New England.
Yeah.
Will the new coaching staff start their era?
Yeah. I mean, the offense will be handed to him. He'll be not in the greatest position, not many weapons in New England outside of Zeke and Ramondre. But he'll have time to build with that team. Obviously, like we just mentioned, new head coach, new coaching staff. Kind of a good position for a young guy that could use some help like that. So Drake May to the Patriots to be that future quarterback and hopefully not the next Mac Jones.
Absolutely.
Brings us to number 4, the Arizona Cardinals on the clock. And who we got them selecting?
The son of one of the best wide receivers in the NFL.
Possibly the best player in the draft. Falling to 4 just due to quarterback needs.
Yeah.
It's that man out of OSU.
Marvin Harrison Jr.
Yep. It's been linked to Arizona a lot. And at 4, with all the quarterbacks off the board, you don't pass on Marvin Harrison. He's the best player.
Else to go.
Yeah.
Like you said, best player in the draft. But other teams got to fill in their quarterback needs. Son of a legend.
Yeah.
Coming in with a point to prove.
Absolutely. Obviously, just lost Marquise Brown to the Chiefs here in this offseason. So the wide receiver core is dwindling for Arizona, moving on from Rondell Moore as well in a trade. Not many pieces there outside of maybe Michael Wilson. So get your wide receiver 1 of the future.
The best receiver you've had since Larry Fitzgerald.
Yeah, for sure. And go get Marvin, man. Give Kyler a real target since D-Hop, hasn't really had a big guy to throw the ball to. Back healthy now and see what they can cook up over in Arizona, man, with
exactly
Marvin Harrison. He's going to be a dog, dude. All right, that brings us to 5, where originally the Los Angeles Chargers would be on the clock. But in Mock Draft 2.0, things change.
We have a trade.
Yeah, and we have a team moving up to select somebody that could be their future.
Absolutely. We just saw the Cardinals take Marvin Harrison. Chargers originally on the board. We have a team move up.
Yeah.
They're scared. Obviously, there's not many quarterbacks left in the draft. They're dwindling down a little bit.
Yeah.
You're down to essentially Michael Penix, J.J. McCarthy, or Bo Nix.
Yeah. And at pick number 5, we have a team in desperate need of a QB with a great offense around them already. We'll be walking into another great position in Minnesota. I just gave it away.
Yeah.
The Minnesota Vikings trade up to number 5. Yeah.
The Minnesota Vikings, to please their all-star wide receiver, Justin Jefferson, all-pro wide receiver, etc., trade up to 5 with the Chargers, and they select Mr. J.J. McCarthy from Michigan.
Yeah. And essentially, Jim Harbaugh would be trading his quarterback to the next team because he's on the clock here at 5 with McCarthy available, but obviously with Justin Herbert, you don't need a guy like McCarthy. And the Vikings need a quarterback, dude. They have pieces. T.J. Hawkinson.
What better
Jordan
way
Addison,
to introduce your protege of J.J. McCarthy into the league than ushering another team in to select him?
With a great offense. They just have pieces, bro.
Exactly.
Jordan Addison had a great year. Obviously the best player and possibly on the offensive side of the ball in football, and Justin Jefferson. Aaron Jones,
yeah, they're deep.
Yeah. And they get their QB and possibly the future here.
And a team that doesn't want to wait another, what was it?
6 picks.
6 picks, yeah. For that quarterback to almost guaranteedly probably be taken by another team.
Yeah.
But they make their move.
They jump over who comes up next here, who could definitely be looking at quarterback as well, in the New York Giants. So they jump ahead of a team in QB need just as much. and get their guy of the future without having to give up a whole lot, being already at pick 11.
Exactly. They're worried. New York over there, not trusting old Danny Dimes.
Yeah.
He hasn't led to much. The New York Giants miss out on J.J. McCarthy.
Yeah.
But now they're at 6.
And the Giants don't have a single name on offense.
Yeah.
They don't have a weapon.
They drafted Jalen Hyatt.
And he didn't pan out.
No.
Lost Saquon to the Philadelphia Eagles this offseason. Signed Devin Singletary to replace him.
The quarterback you paid buku money
for no reason.
He's given up on.
Yeah.
So, not looking bright.
Right. But,
to say the least.
Unfortunately, the Minnesota Vikings jumped ahead, selecting J.J. McCarthy, who could have been their pick here at 6. So that leaves the Giants to bring in a playmaker.
Next best available.
And it's another guy out of LSU who was Jaden Daniels' favorite target this season, had the best wide receiver season on paper in all of college football. Malik Neighbors at 6.
Absolutely. A perfect fit for the Giants. A playmaker they need.
Yeah.
A deep target they need, and someone that could shift their whole offense.
Yeah. And it gives Daniel Jones at least somebody that he can look towards outside of Darius Slayton and Isaiah Hodgins and Jalen Hyatt.
Yeah, I know the offensive coordinator is getting stressed calling a halfback draw every play.
Yeah. And I mean, it's Devin Singletary. You don't even have Saquon in the backfield anymore.
Exactly. So now give him someone to at least look at.
Yeah. Malik Neighbors is going to be a top 10 pick for sure, and there's no better fit for him here than New York Giants being available at 6.
Yeah, being the automatic number 1 target.
Yeah, absolutely. Now that brings us to 7. The Tennessee Titans are on the clock.
They seem to be sticking Will Levis. Nobody else on the board's piquing their interest quarterback-wise.
And they filled their biggest positions in need on offense. Obviously lost Derrick Henry, but brought in Tony Pollard to replace him.
Absolutely. They just picked up Ladarius Sneed, as we were talking about.
Exactly. And signed Calvin Ridley to pair with DeAndre Hopkins. So, like you said, sticking with Levis doesn't leave many positions in need. But if you're going to stick with the young quarterback, you got to protect him.
You got to give him time.
Yeah. And with our first offensive lineman off the board here, the Titans will be selecting
Joe Alt.
Yes, sir. Joe Alt slides in perfectly on the outside of the offensive line. Obviously, guys like Taylor Lewan getting older. Not many young pieces on that line. Obviously, just drafted Skoronski last year, but he's an interior type of guy.
Absolutely. Perfect security blanket.
Yeah.
Give Will Levis more time. You look at it on paper and you've got great pieces, but obviously Will Levis isn't a shining star right now, but do the best you can. Give him some more time to make his reads with newly acquired Calvin Ridley. Pick up Joe Alt.
Yeah.
Number 7. Love it.
First offensive lineman off the board, but very big need for the Titans. Boring pick, but good pick.
Exactly.
That brings us to 8. Falcons are on the board, man, and they're looking nice, bro.
Exactly.
Got their QB, not of the future, but of the now.
Exactly.
And the signing of Kirk Cousins.
Up-and-coming offense. Yeah. Needed that quarterback, that leader.
Yeah, a lot of pieces on offense. Decent O-line. Not a huge need for the Falcons right now. Their skill positions look to be okay with Drake Linden and Kyle Pitts and Bijan Robinson and these guys.
Exactly.
Brings us to the defensive side where they lack a little bit. And their secondary is not the worst. Obviously, Jesse Bates and A.J. Terrell out there, 2 big-time names. But bring us to the front 7, and the Falcons are in desperate need of a pass rusher.
Yeah.
And I don't feel like they've had a good pass rusher.
His defense.
Yeah. Obviously, the newly hired Raheem Morris we talked about before. But, loved his defense in L.A. with the Rams. Who better to go get than the first defensive player off the board and the best pass rusher in the draft? Falcons select Alabama linebacker Dallas Turner.
Exactly. Falcons are going to be extremely excited here at 8. Normally, defensive end is the most highly touted position in the draft.
Yeah.
But with so many positions of need and star power above them, things just lined up perfectly for them. So the Falcons get the perfect defensive player, perfect player of need. Coach is happy. Franchise is happy. Things are looking up.
Absolutely. So perfect fit there. Kind of a guy that reminds me a lot of Will Anderson. Could definitely be a defensive rookie of the year candidate if he has a good season. But our guy, first defensive player off the board, so making a statement just with that.
Exactly.
Which brings us to 9. A team we're getting familiar with this offseason, making crazy moves.
Yes.
Had the number 1 pick back at 9 here for their actual pick. The Bears are on the clock. Selecting Caleb Williams with the 101. Now, most people are going to think, oh, you got to go defense, right? You know, the offense is stacked. You got Caleb Williams. Go help him out on the defensive side. But if you take a look at the Bears' off seasons these last 2 years, they've done nothing but target the defensive side, and man, it's worked.
Yeah,
They
young.
have some names.
They're young.
Yeah, they replaced Eddie Jackson with Kevin Byard this offseason, a perfect up top safety.
Or Jalen Johnson.
Yeah, just re-signed
an extension.
Yeah, their top corner. Tyreek Stevenson had a great year last year at the other side of the corner back position. Montez Sweat on the D line. You got Tremaine Edmonds. They have pieces, man. So go help out Caleb Williams a little more. Why not? And get him the best slot corner available in this draft. Michael Penix's favorite target, Washington's own Rome Dunes.
Exactly. Fill him in with a beautiful offense, as we were talking earlier. Colton Met at tight end. You get Keenan and DJ Moore on the outside. Rome slides in perfectly for the slot.
How do you guard all of them?
And yeah, Caleb should have an easy season 1.
Yeah, and DeAndre Swift, Khalil Herbert, Roshan Johnson to split carries. I mean, there's just not a hole in that offense, dude.
Yeah.
And if the defense can play how they did towards the end of the year last year, Bears could be in for a very good season over there.
Yeah. Rome could be possible Rookie of the Year candidate.
That's a bold take with his quarterback being the number 1 pick. But
no, because all his targets go straight to him. Keenan Allen and DJ Moore are leaving.
Yeah.
Rome Dunes about to have a breakout season, baby. 6,000 receiving yards, 36 touchdowns.
Hey, Rome Dunes was a dog at Washington, though, so he'd fit in perfect for the Bears, man, especially right there in the slot. Not all the attention on him. Be perfect. That brings us
the team that had all attention on it with the very first snap of the NFL season.
And once again, we'll have all the attention on the very first snap of the NFL season this year.
Yes.
The New York Jets are up at 10, and Aaron Rodgers is back. He's ready. Yeah, he's ready for his first real season as a Jet. We're excited. He's excited. Jets have had a good offseason, man. They went and got him another target. Big old boy Mike Williams from the Chargers signed with the Jets this offseason to pair with Garrett Wilson. So A-Rod's got some pieces over there, man. But what you got to do this season is something they didn't do in the first 7 snaps of the year last year, and that's protect your quarterback, dude.
Exactly.
The Jets' offensive line was horrendous last year. And obviously a guy they drafted early a year or two ago, and Mekhi Becton didn't work out all that well. They need help on that offensive line, dude.
Exactly. 39-year-old quarterback isn't going to stay healthy when he's got 2 seconds to throw the ball.
Yeah. So here at 10, we have the Jets selecting someone to help them in that category. TCU's offensive tackle, Olamiye Fashanu, here at number 10.
Perfect fit on the O-line. Try to protect your old, ancient dinosaur of a quarterback, but Hall of Fame caliber quarterback at that. So give him a chance with one of the best and youngest offenses he's had around him in his career.
Yeah.
See how it pans out.
Yeah, absolutely. Perfect fit there for the Jets. Another offensive lineman off the board. Once again, those picks are boring, but very much needed for these older quarterbacks.
Now we got the Chargers.
After
the Vikings
trade with the Vikings, yeah. And when we look at the Chargers, man, their whole offense left. Justin Herbert's the only guy left.
He's got a bunch of receivers that never panned out. Quentin Johnson couldn't catch a ball to save his life. I'm blanking the other dude's name.
Palmer.
Yeah, Josh Palmer
was okay. He was decent, but they need help. And obviously Marvin Harrison and Rome Dunes are gone, and Malik Neighbors, the top 3 wide receivers off the board, are out of here in the top 10.
Yeah.
But there's another guy left with a big name. Could very well help them. Chargers, like we said, lost Mike Williams, Keenan Allen, Austin Eckler, Gerald Everett. I mean, they lost everybody.
Exactly.
So why not go select a guy with a lot of up potential in this league? Already a top 10 fantasy player at his position, not even being drafted yet.
Exactly. Mr. Brock Bowers.
Absolutely. A guy who has so much hype, and falling to 11, the Chargers will be ecstatic.
Exactly. A perfect trade down scenario. One of those players that can do it all. He can block. He can obviously run the open field like a Travis Kelce, like a wide receiver. He can do it all. And I mean, like you said, being already projected top 10 fantasy and not even drafted, gotta mean something.
Absolutely. I mean, he's going to be a playmaker. And if he walks into an offense with those names, he would almost be Justin Herbert's favorite target off written.
Yeah.
So he definitely has the potential to have a breakout year in Los Angeles if that's where he ends up going. So perfect fit for Brock Bowers there to pair up with old Justin. Now, number 12, the Broncos. A very interesting team.
Yes.
A lot of positions in need don't have a quarterback, but we've had 3 quarterbacks off the board already, and those are kind of our 4 quarterbacks, and those are kind of our top 4 guys.
Yeah.
So it doesn't leave the Broncos with much options here at 12. And it kind of our conclusion was without a really standout quarterback here at 12, you really just take best player available, biggest position in need type thing. And we have the Broncos selecting a defensive position here to help them out and to pair alongside PS2 over there in Denver. We have the Broncos selecting Quinion Mitchell.
Absolutely. One of those scenarios of just taking best available. Quinion Mitchell is the perfect fit to try and secure an amazing defense that hopefully can keep the score load low because your offense doesn't look
good at all.
Extremely capable of putting up many points.
Lost Jerry Jeudy, lost Russell Wilson. Your top 2 targets are now Cortland Sutton and Javonte Williams. So
do with that what you may.
Yeah, not looking good for our Denver fans out there and our both of our brothers, unfortunately. Yeah. So we're going to have to hear that next season. But, why not help the defense out while you're out?
Ride.
Yeah. Didn't ride very far. Ran out of gas. Yeah, you ran out of gas.
Ran out of gas. Car broke down. Everything exploded.
Yeah, and Sean Payton.
Looks like you got in a 6-car pileup.
Sean Payton pulled up in an RV and didn't have room for Russ.
No. He pulled up, dropped off Russ, Jerry Jeudy, let in Cortland Sutton and Marvin Mims and said, all right, boys, let's ride.
Let's ride.
We get a tip.
Poor Denver, man. We'll see what happens. But, Quinion Mitchell will help.
Yeah.
Why not? Brings us to 13. Las Vegas Raiders on the board. Another interesting team without a quarterback, really, of good caliber. But like we said, just not many quarterbacks outside of Michael Penix left on the board that are even worth a look at this position.
Yeah. Penix is a player that, a lot of teams might not even take a chance on until round 2. So
he could definitely be a guy that falls kind of like Will Levis did last year's draft. I think he'll be better than Levis, but we could definitely see him fall a few spots.
Deep class, and this is a draft where you don't want to take a pick for a quarterback from 10 to 20 when
Raiders had a good season with the Colts last year. So pass up on the quarterback position here, and they take a Raider type pick.
Absolutely.
A guy that we thought fit their team very well. Old defensive tackle.
Byron Murphy.
Yes, sir.
The
second, yeah. And a guy who kind of had a really good combine. Explosive and fast for his size is kind of the way to explain it. I know it's early, but kind of reminds me a lot of like an Aaron Donald interior type of guy. Not obviously his caliber, but his play style wise. He's just strong and quick.
Pair him with Max Crosby, teach him the right footwork.
Wilkins.
Exactly. That could be a nasty defense you got in Las Vegas.
Absolutely. They could use an interior type of guy to kind of take the pressure off these 2 edge guys you just mentioned and help that defense out a little bit. Byron Murphy's a beast, dude. All right, that brings us to 14.
The good old New Orleans Saints.
Who dat, baby, on the clock. Now, there's so many different ways.
You're probably wishing it was anybody else on the clock.
Yeah. There's just so many different ways we could go. We're in desperate need of a few different positions.
First season back with a first-round pick.
Yeah. And, it hurts, but, I just sometimes I can't explain how it feels to be a Saints fan. That's really how it feels. You can't explain it. So here at 14,
you get teased. You get the little pieces of greatness. Like we had AB for 8 years, and then he randomly got CTE, and you had Michael Thomas, and he randomly fell off the face of the earth. You had Drew Brees, but he never had enough help, and then retired.
Yeah, he had one bowl.
He got his one ring and walked off in the sunset.
We got Honey Badger. We got robbed from a potential Super Bowl appearance against the Rams in the NFC Championship game. And Nickel Roby-Coleman, biggest pass interference missed call of all time.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Speared my man before the ball even got to him.
Yeah, not even close.
None of my business.
Vegas was on the phone as that happened.
Yeah.
They had said if the refs called that, it was...
Hold on. No.
Don't call it.
What do you mean don't call him, sir? You just tackled that man. He's hitting with a Roman Reigns WrestleMania spear. The title was on the line.
Oh man, I'll never have respect for Roby Coleman. He knows what he did.
What about Stephon Diggs?
Yeah, listen, that was a missed play by Marcus Williams. That's his fault. Stephon Diggs was just in the right place at the right time, and Marcus Williams
was in the
trash.
worst possible place on the field he could have been.
Yeah, bro, literally dove at air and just missed everything,
and still missed the air.
Bro hadn't even caught the ball yet, and he tried to tackle him.
Like, I got him, coach.
No, you don't. Anyways,
20 yards downfield. What are you doing?
Back to 14 of the Saints. Maybe a little bit of a weird pick to kind of explain, I guess, but best player available in my opinion.
Absolutely.
A guy that is going to come in, and the Saints love taking their defensive linemen and their pass rushers. I know we just signed Chase Young, but it's only a 1-year deal. Cameron, Jesus Christ,
Cam Jordan.
Cam Jordan, Jesus Christ, why was that so hard? Cam Jordan getting old. So we go out and select young guy, defensive pass rusher, Jared Verse.
Absolutely, line him up. Now you got me doing it. Line him up with Chase and Cam Jordan. Let him learn from some of the best.
Yeah.
Get some youth on your defense. And then again, I don't know where you go from there.
Yeah.
Thank God
the offense is just so atrocious, you just can't really depict what's going to happen. Everybody's old. Everybody's overpaid. It is what it is.
Can't afford to fix it.
Yeah, we're $87 million deep in dead cap. So, you take best player available and hope it works out. I mean, we're literally mid of the mid. We're at pick 14 with no cap space.
Yeah.
How much worse could it get?
The middle of the draft.
Yeah, it's rough. It's rough. And I have a Michael Thomas jersey, too.
Yeah.
I don't know if anybody knew that, but guess that can go in the garbage.
Auction that bad boy off.
Yeah, Jesus Christ. Anyways, pick 15.
Indy.
Yeah, on the clock, baby. Now, we know everybody hates Ballard.
Yeah.
He didn't,
especially after the Snead situation.
He didn't go get Snead. Obviously, re-signed Kenny Moore this offseason, but still a little bit of a need at corner. Julius Brents had a decent season last year. But with a lot of good corners still left on the board, I feel like only one being taken so far at this point. The Colts look defense here. And none other than the best nickelback in the draft, a guy who's jumped up a lot of boards lately.
Absolutely.
Old Cooper DeJean, and a guy that I'm huge on as well.
Absolutely. Very versatile and can play 4+ positions on defense. You can slide him out into safety. Dude's very versatile.
Yeah.
And can do a lot. I mean, for a team like Indy, they love those kind of players.
Yeah, and I think it'd be cool to have Cooper DeJean so close to home, a guy that I'm big on. A guy I almost took at 14 for the Saints, but we'll let him slide over
to the team. Yeah,
we'll let him slide to Indy.
Just because you know the Saints, how the Saints are.
Yeah, we love our
defense.
Caleb
Williams
on
the board.
Yeah. I mean, we drafted like Peyton Turner, Marcus Davenport, Sheldon Rankins. I mean, Isaiah Foskey, Brian Brissy.
Yeah.
I mean,
wow.
I mean, all we draft is defensive linemen. I mean, it doesn't end.
Aren't great.
Yeah, it doesn't end ever. None of them work out.
For the next Cam Jordan, and not one of them.
Nobody. Hope it can be Chase Young if he decides to stay longer than a year.
Yeah.
But, Lord, yeah. It's rough finding somebody good over there in New Orleans. 16, Seahawks. Exact middle of the pack here.
Yeah.
A team that's hard to draft for, sometimes. A lot of good players, a lot of positions a need.
Possible quarterback battle coming into training camp.
Sam Howell and old Geno, baby. Definitely could see a QB battle there. But why not go protect them? Haven't drafted a lineman since Charles Cross. Don't draft linemen all that often.
Yeah.
Why not go take someone with a lot of upside? You could pair with young man Charles Cross on the other side. Mr.
Troy
Fautanu.
So that much?
Fautanu, I think was how you say it. Yeah, Troy Fautanu.
So it would definitely be a perfect piece. They have a bunch of O-line pieces that they gather from free agency and random pickup trades the last few seasons. And, I mean, it's worked for them.
Yeah.
Surprisingly enough. But when you can go get somebody from the beginning, get the chemistry in there, I think it'd be a perfect fit. Especially when you have two very mid quarterbacks that, regardless of who wins the quarterback battle, probably isn't going to be an automatic Super Bowl contender, so give them
Right.
more time to make their decision.
Right. And not a lot of great players left on the board, so get somebody you know you can use.
Exactly.
17 for the Jags.
They need some defense.
Yeah, they do. They tend to draft corner sometimes a little often. Not many of them work out though. We've seen them draft corners the last few years. Haven't had a really good one since Jalen Ramsey.
Yeah.
But why not try it again? I mean, a couple good corners still left on the board.
Absolutely.
The guy who's jumped up draft boards here a little lately. Cornerback Terrion Arnold for the Jags.
Absolutely.
Excuse me, had a hiccup there. But yeah, Terrion Arnold to the Jags at 17 to try to do something at cornerback and really get their guys of the future. Made a few decent offseason pickups this offseason. Got T-Law another target in Gabe Davis after losing Calvin Ridley. And, can really help build up that defense a little bit. They drafted defensive pass rushers the last few years as well, so kind of just a young defense all in all. Obviously, number one pick Trayvon Walker still there. So
absolutely, you got some holes, but nothing's going to get better when you're allowing teams to pass 400 yards on you. So
right,
get an amazing quarterback at 17.
absolutely,
Best available.
Absolutely. Cincinnati Bengals on the clock at 18. Few decent offseason moves. Obviously, we still have the T. Higgins rumors flying around. We don't know what's happening with him just yet. But big need for the Bengals. Obviously, lost Chidobe Awuzie this offseason. Brings them in need for a corner.
Yes.
Something they've struggled with a lot here lately. And obviously, we've seen Terrion Arnold just go off the board a pick before, so the Bengals might be a little scared here at 18.
Exactly.
And try to go get a guy that can help them on the defensive side. And another corner that has a lot of upside, in my opinion. Clemson cornerback
Nate Wiggins.
Yes, sir. He had a really good combine from what I've seen. I know he's shot up some draft boards too lately. So a good pick for the Bengals there to help them replace their cornerback loss this offseason and help them try to get back in Super Bowl contention with a defense
Absolutely.
that could use the help. All right. Brings us to 19.
With the Los Angeles Rams.
Yes, sir. Rams on the clock. And Rams just lost their best player.
Yeah.
Decided to finally call it quits. Hall of Famer, obviously. Interior D lineman Aaron Donald decides to call it a career at the slim age of 32. So, obviously, the Rams are in huge need of a replacement right away. We've seen Kobe Turner have a great season last year. Almost won Rookie of the Year. Was up there in the top 3 voting at the end of the season for Defensive Rookie of the Year. So a guy they'll definitely lean on to take over for Donald. But why not add some more help to it?
Absolutely. Take a little pressure off. Add someone that brings a lot of defensive pressure.
Yeah, it's going to take 2 people right now to replace what Aaron Donald could do. I mean, he was grabbing 3 or 4 blockers at a time sometimes. So to try to match what he was doing, you're going to need a couple big guys down there. So Rams go out and get Mr. Jershawn Newton, interior defensive lineman, to help kind of replace that Aaron Donald pressure and give Kobe Turner some more room to run. Obviously, was probably really good with the attention Aaron Donald was drawing. So
exactly. When you have Aaron Donald taking 2 or 3 people at a time, you're going to need Jershawn Newton to come in and take some pressure off.
Yeah, it's not hard to get sacks when you have 4 blockers on one guy. So,
absolutely. Maybe if you get Aaron Donald sticking around in Los Angeles for some coaching staff or, come talk to the team next season, maybe he can help Jershawn with his footwork a little bit.
Absolutely. Definitely, looking for his replacement. So try to get it this year. Jershawn Newton, good pick for the Rams. Stack back up on defense. McVay loves the defensive side of the ball. So that brings us to 20. And it's none other than the Pittsburgh Steelers, baby.
Black and gold.
You want to walk us through this pick?
I'm scared. I'll tell you that much. It's a big season coming up with the newly acquired Russell Wilson, Justin Fields. I know there's been a lot of talk of Justin Fields getting his opportunity now, but that, I think, to crush a lot of people's dreams, will have to wait. Yeah. Unless Russell Wilson is extremely horrible, which I don't think he will be. But I think Russ will get his perfect chance next season, sitting behind Russ. But we were talking, regardless of being best O-line he's had in his career and a really good defense right now, I mean, we have no other wide receiver targets in Pittsburgh besides George Pickens.
Yeah. After the trade of Deontay to Carolina,
Yeah.
you're in need for some targets for Russ, man.
Yeah, they're going to put all 11 defenders on George Pickens the minute we snap the ball.
Absolutely. So, to help out Russ this year and to fill in the loss of Deontay Johnson,
we go and get deep ball target Brian Thomas.
Yes, sir. Brian Thomas Jr. out of LSU was the guy behind Malik Neighbors last year. Still had a great season, though. Jaden Daniels developed his top 2 targets. And Brian Thomas is a guy with a lot of upside at the wide receiver position. It can definitely come in and be an immediate starter and playmaker for that Pittsburgh offense.
Exactly.
I mean, we've seen what he could do in college, and to come in with the opportunity he has, and a good quarterback like Russell Wilson, hoping he has another good year, Brian Thomas could be a sneaky pick.
Yeah, definitely need somebody to take the pressure off George Pickens.
Yeah. So, you excited with that pick? You like that pick, Brian Thomas to Pittsburgh?
I think it's the best pick we can make with what's available.
Facts. Good choice there. 21 brings us to Miami Dolphins. Now, Miami Dolphins are good, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, there's just not much that you can do with this team to make it any better. But to help out that offense a little bit, you obviously want to give Tua as much time in the pocket as possible to find his speedsters and Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle.
Exactly, a quarterback that went through multiple concussions just 2 seasons ago.
Yeah. Obviously, but still have Teron Armstead on that offensive line. Obviously, really good, but need help on the inside of it, the interior offensive line.
I believe both of his concussions 2 seasons ago were right in the middle of the line, just that D tackle rush.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. The big guys in the middle have been making.
It wasn't some blindside tackle.
Yeah. So they go out and select big interior guy, Jackson Powers Johnson, to help out the inside of that.
Absolutely. Bolster up their O-line and protect their franchise quarterback.
Yeah. Good pick there for the Dolphins. Not too flashy, but most of their skill positions and big positions have guys that we know are going to start next year. So not too many needs for Miami.
Yeah.
Brings us to 22, the Philadelphia Eagles.
Just lost Jason Kelsey.
Yeah.
Part of their tush push.
Yeah. And we've seen that the NFL has already announced it's not getting banned, so we will see the tush push next year.
Yes.
And without Jason Kelsey, it's going to be very interesting to see how that plays out.
Big guy. You add another big dog who's benching 500 pounds of Saquon Barkley, but you needed Jason Kelsey in the center to push some dudes down.
Yeah. And with how that team's been, obviously corner might be a little bit of a need for the Eagles, but obviously that defense is good outside of just some lack in the secondary, and why not try to replace someone like Jason Kelsey right away?
Exactly.
And go get you another interior lineman, Mr.
Graham Barton.
Yes, sir. A big guy, obviously above Jackson Powers Johnson in some of these mock drafts, but they go back to back, so 50-50 shot on those 2 guys, which one you want to pick from. But yeah, like you said, just got to try to replace Jason, man. Biggest piece of that offensive line.
And the thing that would make me most upset next season if Jalen Hurts somehow goes down and Kenny Pickett walks out suited up in an Eagles uni, I may punch the TV, but it's fine. Let's protect Jalen Hurts at all costs.
Yeah, you're gonna see a lot of Pickett. He'll be sitting in the sideline ready. He's a
backup.
Sitting on the
sideline, all right.
He's a backup in case anything happens. You know that.
Well, last time he was asked to suit up as a backup, he refused. So.
Yeah. Well, he ain't got a choice.
We'll see how he does with the season.
Yeah. He ain't got a choice. He ain't taking Hurts' spot. But Graham Burton of the Eagles at 22 brings us to 23, the Vikings. And the Vikings, man, like we said, traded up in the draft earlier, selected their QB of the future. The offense is set. You could always look offensive line here with a few pieces left on the board to help protect McCarthy. But a good piece there. Obviously, Christian Darrisaw, all-pro offensive tackle. So why not go help out the defense in a big position of need, something they haven't had something good of since, the prime of Xavier Rhodes.
I was going to say Xavier Rhodes, yeah.
Is cornerback for the Vikings. And with a big name that I'm huge on still on the board, super excited for this guy. Alabama product Kool-Aid McKinstry here at 23 to the Vikings.
Absolutely. If they put first names on a jersey, I'd have one pre-ordered.
For sure.
But unfortunately, they don't. But the Vikings like to take the hyped up, viral type people.
Right.
They've done it multiple times. Why not do it again? Take someone that's actually got some proven hype behind their name.
Yeah. And a guy that fell behind all these other corners, but I think he has the upside to be the best corner in the draft, playing at full caliber, because just a year ago he was.
I was going to say, before the season started last year, I remember Kool-Aid being a top 10 prospect.
Yeah, and I mean, he's good, dude. He's really good. And have him fall all the way to 23 in a team like this that has his people at every other position. It's a good pick, man. Kool-Aid
It'd be a perfect scenario if you're a Vikings fan, being able to trade up and secure a J.J. McCarthy and then get another defensive piece like that in Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
It'd be an amazing draft if you're a Vikings fan.
For sure. So with Kool-Aid off the board, brings us to 24th, the Dallas Cowboys with their first pick of the night. And wow.
Yeah, a lot going on in Dallas.
Yeah, a few big pieces that Dallas have lost. Haven't made any offseason signings outside of stealing Eric Kendricks from the Chargers, I think, or I don't know, wherever he was, or the 49ers, I believe, is where he was originally going. But, yeah, outside of that, they haven't done anything.
Yeah, been a snooze fest in Dallas.
Yeah, lost Tony Pollard to Tennessee, lost out on Derrick Henricks. They didn't want to pay him big money. And Tyron Smith moved on. All-time, All-Pro, Hall of Fame offensive tackle for Dallas, moved to New York to protect Aaron Rodgers.
Absolutely.
So leaves them in need of a replacement. The offensive line is dwindling. Zach Martin's getting old. These guys just aren't who they used to be. And you need a young piece to come in and help protect Dak if he's who you're sticking with.
Yeah, you're not going to have Tony Pollard running it up the middle anymore. So give him more time to throw to CeeDee Lamb.
Right. And so the Cowboys select an offensive tackle here, a guy that possibly could have went a little earlier.
Yeah.
But fell to 24 here in our draft. Mr. Talise Fuega is an offensive tackle off the board here to Dallas. Replaced Tyron Smith, man, like we said, and just try to figure out what's going on in Dallas.
Yeah, there's a lot of holes, and like you said, I don't think they even know, because there's so many alarm bells going off and fires catching fire in Dallas, and not a single one of them have even grabbed a fire extinguisher. So I'm glad I'm not part of that environment.
Yeah. So just give them an offensive tackle here and let them figure out what's going on.
Exactly.
Brings us to 25, a team that took off late in the year last year, actually destroyed this previous team in the playoffs.
Exactly.
The Green Bay Packers are here, and they look good, dude.
Yeah.
Obviously just signed Josh Jacobs this offseason, replaced Aaron Jones, let him go. Brought in a few pieces on the defensive side, and they're looking to have a good season and possibly win their division next year, dude, with the way things are looking right now. So the offense looks good. Like I said, a lot of weapons, a lot of good receivers they're working with. So why not go help out the defense and go take the best pass rusher available, Mr.
Latu.
There you go. A little tongue twister there. Yeah. But, Latu. Possibly a top 3 pass rusher in this class. A guy that has a lot of potential to be really good. Just drafted Lucas Van Ness last year. Didn't work out all that well. So try to find somebody to take a little pressure off Rashawn Gary. Get some more pass rush involved on that defense. And
we all missed the Clay Matthews Green Bay Packers defense.
Yeah, for sure.
Maybe Latu can bring a little bit of that back.
Yeah, facts. Rashawn Gary had been the only guy that could get to the quarterback since the prime of Darius Smith a few years ago. So hopefully he can help them out a little bit there at 25. 26 brings us to Tampa Bay Bucks, and another team that's kind of hard to draft for. Weird spot for the Bucks here.
Just re-upped on Baker Mayfield.
Yeah, without a need a quarterback. Offensive side of the ball, no needs that are glaring. Offensive line looked okay last year. So let's go to the defense side. Let's help them out a little bit. Just lost Devin White. Shaquille Barrett's no longer what he was when they traded for him. They need somebody to help on the defense line.
Yeah.
Joe Tryon-Shoyinka didn't really pan out to be what they thought he was going to be. So go out and take a guy who, in my mind, has a lot of upside. A guy who had a great combine. A guy who has a lot of confidence in himself.
Very strong.
Yeah. And the Bucks go Chop Robinson here, defensive lineman. to help out that defense and get some pressure on the quarterback.
Which they had a lot of struggle doing last season, trying to get to the quarterback.
Yeah, for sure. I think Chop's going to be good, dude. And with all these other big names at linebacker and defensive edge here in this draft, I think he could be a sneaky one that can slip down a little bit and be a big playmaker.
I love Baker Mayfield, but he shouldn't have to put up 45 points a night to contend with some of the games he did last season.
Yeah, that man was putting up legendary quarterback performances and still losing.
Yeah.
Poor guy. Brings us to 27. Arizona Cardinals back on the board after taking Marvin Harrison Jr. at number 4 a little earlier.
Absolutely.
So with wide receiver need being out the door, obviously you can always look defense with a few different players left that can make it a statement. But you need to keep Kyler Murray healthy if you want Marvin Harrison to have a good season.
Absolutely. A lot of injury issues with Kyler.
Yeah. Just took Paris Johnson early in the draft last year. But why not take somebody else to help him out? Offensive line could always use some more help. So they
5 positions there for a reason.
Yeah. So the Cardinals select Mr. Alabama product offensive tackle
J.C. Latham.
Yes, sir. Best tackle left on the board, in my opinion. And like I said, why not protect Kyler? He's shown to be a little injury prone. So you need to do everything you can to have a successful season next year. And,
that man actually has some time in the pocket. He's made magic happen a few times.
And we've seen James Conner, the end of the year last year, had a few good games in a row. So if he can come out playing like he did and have another offensive line piece to help him out, could be a little upside there in Arizona.
Yeah.
28, Buffalo Bills on the clock. Team that's always in Super Bowl contention. One of the best quarterbacks in football. But some controversy in his weapons, man.
Absolutely. Gabe Davis is out.
Yeah.
We mentioned before, Stephon Diggs, and more controversy. Does he want to be there? Is he going to be there?
Could be traded on draft night. We don't know. A lot of controversy there in Buffalo. And with all that, it sounds like Josh Allen needs somebody to throw the ball to. Now, a lot of the good targets are off the board here, but there's some sneaky picks. We know guys like Allen and Mahomes like their later in the draft wide receivers that they can kind of mold. And it's a guy you're huge on here. Bills go get a big target for him, a big speedster for Josh Allen to get down the field, and select Adonai Mitchell here.
Exactly. There's a lot of what Josh Allen hasn't been able to work with. He's had the deep threats and the bigger targets that will go up and fight for the ball, but he hasn't had someone that'll beat the press like that. So, I mean...
Well, we've seen what he was doing with Shakir last year, who was a small speedster, kind of like Adonai.
Just getting some chances.
Yeah, and he was having a good season. When you can put the ball in the hands of these little guys that are fast, they can make things happen. And we know Mitchell can do that.
Exactly.
He's
so I
going
think it'd be a perfect pickup for Buffalo.
Yeah, for sure.
Especially if you may not have Stephon Diggs there, but
if
you do, it would be a perfect scenario.
For sure. So good pickup for Buffalo there at 28. Brings us to 29. Tampa Bay Lions. Lord have mercy. The Detroit Lions at 29. And they're
had a good playoff run last season.
Yeah.
Your Super Bowl pick.
And they were one game away, man. One game away. And they were up big at halftime of that game, but unfortunately choked it to San Fran. But the Lions, dude, they're good, man. And Dan Campbell made that team a contender.
Yeah.
And they're one of the best teams in football now. But unfortunately, lost a few pieces on defense and are almost without a single corner on roster.
Yeah.
A big controversy with a guy that played a lot last year in Cameron Sutton. Got himself in a little bit of trouble and got himself released. So not on roster no more. And the Lions need a corner. Need a corner bad. And next best guy on the clock here on the board for the cornerback position.
Explains exactly why we call them the Tampa Lions.
Yeah. Mr. TJ Tampa. Cornerback here to Detroit to kind of help out their glaring hole there on the defensive side of the ball.
Exactly. Not huge pieces left here as we get to the end part of our draft mock.
Yeah.
But as we said, the Lions had amazing pieces on offense. They had breakout rookie Sam Laporta, obviously the running back that never got any touches, so does not need to be mentioned. Jahmyr Gibbs.
He got touches.
Yeah, at the end of the season. It took 8 weeks to finally see the ball.
Yeah.
But, again, they didn't have very many holes on offense. They had a great run. But now they're starting to get some holes on defense. So let's fill one of the biggest ones with one of the best available on the board, TJ Tampa.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Brings us to 30. Baltimore Ravens on the clock.
MVP winner Lamar Jackson.
Lost one of his bigger targets this offseason in OBJ. Kind of left with only Zay Flowers. Lost Gus Edwards, but obviously brought in Mr. Beast, big time, Mr. Derrick Henry.
Yeah.
Big move there for Baltimore. So we're going to see more of a run game next year, more than likely.
Yeah.
But a guy here that I think is a perfect fit for Baltimore. Kind of gives them that other kind of selection. You got your small, fast Zay Flowers. Now go get your big target you can throw the ball to down the field.
Exactly.
A guy who made some crazy catches last year, Mr. Keon Coleman at wide receiver. Super excited for that.
Absolutely. Obviously, you could expect a running or halfback dive and quarterback sneak to be 99% of their plays, but when it comes down to throwing the ball, you can't leave it up to just Zay Flowers, or you're going to have a Pittsburgh situation where almost all 11 men are sitting around Zay.
Yeah, and you don't want that. So go get the MVP, Lamar Jackson, another big target, some help on the offensive side, and see what can happen.
Absolutely.
Some more help.
Yeah.
Number 31, San Francisco 49ers, Super Bowl runner-up, is on the clock. Now, the 49ers are in need of absolutely nothing.
I was about to say, a team that has no needs.
Absolutely not. They're stacked at every position, big names everywhere, all over the field. But
they could lose 3 of their top names and still be a Super Bowl contender.
Yeah, absolutely. But
wow. Good plan with things, though.
Ignore what just happened. Anyways, back to the mock draft. Last 2 picks. 49ers here. They have one single need, and it's something we help them cover here.
Yeah.
Offensive line. Obviously, they have good offensive line pieces, but some of those guys getting a little older.
Mainly the right side getting weaker.
Yeah, very weak, unfortunately. So why not go fill that hole, try to get back to the bowl, and we have the 49ers selecting Mr.
Amarius Mims.
Yes, sir. Offensive tackle out of Georgia.
Give CMC a bit more of a hole. That's always adds more danger to his repertoire. And give your system quarterback, Brock, more time in the pocket. Get him back to the bowl.
Fixed it. Anyways, yeah. So, yeah, Amarius Mims there. Try to give them some young depth on the offensive line so they don't completely have nothing a couple years from now.
Yeah.
And to wrap up the draft, your Super Bowl contenders, the Kansas City Chiefs, or Super Bowl champion, the Kansas City Chiefs at 32. And we know their biggest need. It doesn't even need much conversation.
Yeah.
They don't have a pass catcher outside of Rashee Rice and Travis Kelce.
Yeah.
Nobody caught the ball last year from Mahomes. So why not try to go help out that?
Even when he could make the throws, they just couldn't come down with it.
Yeah.
A lot of them were wide open, too.
Absolutely. So here at 32, we have a little bit of not really a surprise pick, but a fun pick.
One that's made a lot of head waves.
Yeah, and jumped up a lot of draft boards for one specific reason. He could be the fastest man in the NFL.
He could give Patrick Mahomes another Tyreek Hill.
Oh, my God. And if he was to work out in
a refined 3-time Super Bowl champion, Patrick Mahomes, 3-time Super Bowl champion, Patrick Mahomes,
lost one to Brady.
A new Tyreek Hill.
Yeah. Mr. Texas standout, combine 40-yard dash record.
Xavier Worthy.
Yes, sir. Super excited for that one. That one's a fun pick if that was to happen.
Absolutely. You pair breakout rookie Rashee Rice and then obviously the best tight end in football, Travis Kelce,
with a speedster.
A 40-yard dash record-setting Xavier Worthy, and let that man just break press coverage and go crazy.
Yeah.
We saw what a young Patrick Mahomes could do with Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill being an obvious Hall of Famer already in his career, but
yeah,
you get this man another Tyreek Hill speedster with 3 Super Bowls under his belt. Chewy. About to have 4.
Yeah. Very well could.
3
could have the first ever 3 in NFL history
on draft night.
Yeah. So that rounds out our 32 team first round NFL mock draft 2.0. Not the last you'll see. Probably have at least another 1 or 2 maybe before draft time. Still got about a month or so till the draft.
Yeah. April time. I know that much.
End of April. So You'll probably see it, like I said, at least another one or two. But that is our first real full first round mock draft of the off season.
Absolutely. If you're an NFL fan, your team was included.
Yes, absolutely. Unless you
I
don't
think
have a first round pick.
Almost all teams.
Well, there was two teams that had two picks, so there's
Yeah,
at least somebody that doesn't have a pick. Because the Texans don't have a first round pick.
Yeah,
they traded to the Vikings.
The Browns.
No, that pick was from the Browns from the Deshaun Watson trade.
That's what I'm saying.
But
now the Browns though don't have a pick either.
Yeah. So Browns and Texans don't have a pick because the Vikings and the Cardinals have two picks.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Well,
so unfortunate for not Cardinals, for Texans and Browns fans, you didn't have a first round pick. But
Texans did a lot more with their free agents.
Absolutely. Definitely made some moves.
Cleveland.
Mixon, Daniel Hunter.
Pick a new team.
You signed Jameis Winston, baby. Yeah, Jabbo wins. Let's go, baby. Who need Deshaun when you got Jameis? Let's go. I'm excited for you all with that one. You get Nick Chubb back, though. You say, you traded for Jerry Jeudy.
Yeah.
Don't forget. Number 3, Jerry Jeudy.
Y'all still going to go 9-7.
Yeah.
9-8.
Should have just kept Flacco. Had a better chance with Flacco than you did Winston or Watson. Lord have mercy. But he went and take Minshew's spot in case Richardson decides to get himself hurt again.
Yeah.
That's why he signed there. He was like, you know what? If I got a chance to play anywhere, it's this young man in Indy. Because he just runs crazy. He'll go out there and get himself hurt in the first 2 games again. Flacco going to lead the Colts to the Super Bowl.
Let me find out.
Colts Ravens AFC Championship. Colts Ravens AFC Championship. That'd be a crazy game.
Lamar Jackson throws 4 touchdowns to Keon Coleman.
See? Cooper DeJean picks off Lamar Jackson for a pick 6.
Cooper DeJean forces Derrick Henry to fumble.
Hey, hear me out. All I'm saying.
On the 1.
Pulls a L'Jarius Sneed. Knocks the ball out before he crosses the plane.
Hear me out.
That's what he did to Lamar Jackson.
All Colts fans would really love to see something L'Jarius Sneed did.
I bet they would.
Poor Chris Ballard.
Yeah.
Don't go out in public.
Yeah, don't. Because you're going to get bombarded. But with the mock draft 2.0 coming to an end brings us to our final segment of the night. It's NBA time. And it's NBA Deal or No Deal time.
Absolutely.
Game that's becoming pretty patented around the Travis and John show.
Add a little flavor to the show.
A little flav. A little fun, a little laid back. Not so much in-depth talking and just having fun with it.
Absolutely.
But for all of our loyal viewers out there or anyone new, we do have to take a